Now let's go to today's class. Let's go to today's class. Let me waste that time. Now still on the same. Now let me use this medium to teach you how to use FigJam. Now look at the interface. Can you see my screen? You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
All right. So look at the interface. This tool, the shortcut for this tool is V. This is a selection tool. So as you can see, the tool that is active right now is the and tool. So if I want to quickly use it, just like you are using your hand to pan something, yes. So the shortcut for the tool is H. While the selection tool is V. So you might just save yourself of some stress. You trying to click, you can use your keyboard to just press. You can just press H, gives you the hand option. While you quickly switch by pressing V, then you'll be able to select. So this is the marker. Let's use the marker. So you can easily write. Let me try to write something. So all right, so this I don't know if we use highlighter. I don't know if anyone of us uses highlighter here. It's just like same function. So you can just, maybe somebody wrote something, you want to underline it, or you want to paint on it, something like that. You can see the color palette and you can create the color. This too, this is the eraser. Okay, let me write something now. Then let me use my eraser. Yes. So that's for that. And then this, your shape tool. So you press shift, you hold shift to draw if you want your shape to be regular. Now, if I don't use shift, you can see that it's kind of bulky. So that's for this. And the shortcut for your eraser is shift with the back plus the back key, and then your shape to the shortcut is O, and then your sticky notes. All these square or rectangular shapes, colorful rectangular shapes you are seeing here, they are all sticky notes. So you can also have one. Now this is my sticky note. Another way you can create your sticky notes, how you use your shape tool. Now for the sticky notes, I was going to show you how to create shift tool. Now shift tool, that's what you press to zoom to selection. Once you select something and you want to zoom in, you press shift tool. And then now I want a sticky note next to this particular note. I press the plus sign. Once you select that particular note, you see the plus sign, and once you click on it, it gives you another sticky note right beside it. So I can say that, okay, I want a sticky note right at the base of this sticky note. I click on the plus sign. So that's what the sticky note tool is used for. And then this is the text tool. Maybe I want to type. This is a text box now. So I'll be able to type. And the shortcut is T. And the section, there is a table tool. If I want to draw a table, I can even add more. Understand? Let me pan to now. So all right, so you can, once you click each cell, you can type. That's for that, and then the stamp to that. So I'll send you, if you go to the resource, the UIUX resource section, you'll have seen the video, the links to some YouTube video I sent there. So that should suffice you. I mean, when it comes to maybe learning how to use FigJam. So just watch the video in case you're having any challenge. So now in tonight's class, you can see that I'm still on FigJam. I used FigJam last class, and this was what we worked on. But now today, this research plan. So now today we want to work on research analysis. So research analysis, that's a step after you've conducted, you take this step after you've conducted your research, and then you are done with all the research process. All you just want to do now is you've conducted your interview, you've sent out some surveys, you've gathered a lot of data, understand? So now this is the next step after that. Right, so from my interview, now let me take you back to my research questions. I first of all familiarized myself with the users I was interviewing. The people that I sent the survey to. I didn't interview anybody, like I said last class. So I asked them, which city do you live in? Those are the intro questions. And then later on, I moved on to find out their behaviors and pain points. So I asked some further questions to find out their behaviors and pain points, and then I moved on to find out the tools in use. That is, the tools they are using presently to solve that problem. Maybe perhaps they must be familiar with some tools, since I'm not the only one in town, you understand? My product is not, my idea is not first in town. It's something that somebody must have worked on before. It's just that I'm bringing up some innovation to make my product more unique. So that's just that's one thing about product design, UIUX and maybe product design. When it comes to product development, you must have something in mind that there's nothing new under heaven. Somebody must have worked on that on a similar idea before, so you need to go and find out your competitors. That's one of the things you do when you are researching. You don't just seclude yourself and say, okay, this is what I have in mind, and you just dash out and start researching. No, you have to go and find out who are my existing competitors, who are the existing competitors in this field, and who are my next door neighbors. You understand? Let me just put it in a literal term, in a simple term rather. Who are my next door neighbors? Let me know them. Let me get to know. Let me familiarize myself with them. Perhaps I can even learn one or two things, because your product shouldn't look completely new. Completely new in the sense that you should share some feature that your competitors have, so that people will quickly warm up to you, because you are just coming in, you are looking like the old, but you are an improved version of the old. You understand what I'm saying? You are an improved version of the existing products. So when they get on your platform, when they get on your maybe application, web application or mobile application, they can easily navigate your product, because navigate the layout, because they've been using an old product before. They know how to navigate it already. So you can adopt some of the features in the old products, but make sure you don't copy directly. You understand? By the time you start learning about UI UX design, you understand what I'm saying. You call it competitive analysis. You have to go and check out who are your next door neighbors. After you've checked them, and then you now start bringing in innovations. Okay, I think this is the loophole. As I mentioned at the time, during one of their classes, is that one of the ways you can conduct research is by going to the Google Play Store to go and check the reviews of existing products that are in same feed as yours. Now this is the these are EdTech products now. So what did I do? I went to Play Store. I went to go and check for products that are similar to what I have in mind, and I got a few. So I started checking them out. Okay, what is it that this person, what is it that this product has that people like about it? How do you get to know that? Go to the review. What are people's complaints on this product? You start noting them and then you use it to improve your own products. You understand? So that you can class that under secondary research. So that's by the way. So these are questions I included in my Google survey, my Google form survey, and I sent them out. And so from the results of the data and information I gather from this survey, that's what I brought here. So look at this first section. I call it organized notes. Now, I sent survey to 5 participants for this particular project. So, participant A, participant B, C, D, E. Now, all these sticky notes now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all these are the responses I got from participant A. You can decide to write their name there if you wish. It's not necessary you use anonymous names, You can write the person's name here, and then participant B. These are all the responses from the second participant, then participant C. These are all the responses I got. Then D. You can see that there are some blank spaces here now. These are the places that participant C didn't answer the particular question under this section. You understand? So I likewise D and E. So I left that place blank. So try as much as possible to organize your sticky notes in a way that you can easily sort out information. You understand? So organize. Don't say because okay this person did not answer the questions here now. On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 5th question. So you now because you don't want a gap here, you now put question 6 under question 5. So the next time you want to start working, you start looking for which question is this, which answer is this. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. That's why you should sort your data and organize them. That's why this particular section is very, very important. It's very, very important. You should sort your data and group them, align them. Just make sure that okay, you can easily know. So if I want to know my participant's response on question 1, I just need to check. I just need to select all these lines and read what is there. You understand? And if I want to know the answer to question this particular section, I know that all my participants, this is the response to all my participants gave on a particular question. So I hope that is clear. Now this is the empathy map. Last week I told you the things you can use your research plan to do. The things you can use your research plan to do. I said that when you share your research plan, there are some things you can use your research plan to do. And when you share it with your maybe stakeholder or with your team, after you've gathered all your data, the things you can use it to do, you can use it to design a user persona. You can use it to create a storyboards rather, and then you can use it to create a user journey map. You understand? So those are things I said you can use your the research plan you've designed, the information you've gathered. Those are the things you can use it for. So another thing you can use it for is you can use it to draw out your empathy map. This is an empathy map. This is an empathy map now. Now, this is, you can see, these are my users' pain points. My users' pain points. This is my user persona. Now, this is the brainstorming section. And this is my idea prioritization matrix, and then my features list. So I'm going to explain how you are going to go through all this process. I've explained how you organize your notes, and I hope you understand. Because if you do, just signify, tell me, let me know whether you understand the organized notes, how you organize your notes, so that I can go over it again if you don't understand. Do you understand?
Can you just brief on the organization of the notes?
You said?
Can you review more on that? How to organize the speaking notes?
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, let me quickly switch to this. Look at the first question. What was in the hospital? Time understanding of the word emergency, bad aid. That was our response. Okay, I think I've disorganized the question, but experience because I don't get to the hospital on time. That was our response. So do you now understand? This thing, all the questions I showed you here, those are the questions I typed on Google Form, sent it out as a survey for people to fill. And then after they filled it, you go to the response section on your Google Form. Then you gather everyone's response. Well, thank God some of us have I don't know if you have your system. That would be much easier if you have your system. You can just open, as you can see, I have so many some tabs open here. So you can open your Google Form tab here, the response, or you can even view in spreadsheets. You open your Google Form tab here, and then you open your FigJam file to start copying those responses. You first of all know the number of questions you ask your participants, and then those are the number of sticky notes that's the number of sticky notes you create. You understand? So I asked, I think, about some same questions now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now 15. I have 15 sticky notes on a line. So I created all these sticky notes, and then I ensure that all participants have equal number of sticky notes, because it's not like I sent different surveys to different people. It's still the same survey. So question 1, these participants a response, you paste it here. Question 2, the person's response, you paste it here, and try to use the same color code for each person. You understand? So this participants a first question, this is the color code. Repeat it across all participants, so that when you are viewing, you can view vertically and horizontally. So when you horizontally, now you have the response of a particular participant. But that's horizontally. But vertically, you have the response of a particular question from all participants. You understand? So that's the essence. That's how to organize your notes, and that's the essence of you having this section on your FigJam. Anytime you want to do your research analysis, it helps you, because I can't imagine you can't. Some people do without it, but it just does not make sense, because I can't imagine you flipping through tabs and then you now want to create an empathy map. You are going from Google Form, copying it one by one. You are thinking this will be so stressful. So that's why it's best to have your organized notes section. If you have 10 participants, make the rows 10. What is it called now? Participant A, participant B to 10. So to J rather. That's if you are using this format I used. So now I hope I'm clear on that.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
All right. So now let's move to empathy map. Now this empathy map, now you see why this organized note is very important. Now that you now want to create your empathy map, you don't need to start running around to pick your sticky notes. You just start picking from your organized notes and bring it to the right quadrant. Now your empathy map has 4 quadrants. It has let me minimize so that you can see quadrants, the say quadrants, the feel quadrants, and the do quadrants. So the say quadrants, let me start from the say quadrants. You just need to scan through your organized notes, or just have a mental picture of your question. Like you can just maybe go back to where you wrote your questions. Which of my questions will prompt my participants to say something, like to state something, maybe state a fact about themselves, you understand? Or go through their responses to be sure, because some people many people have different ways they answer their questions, so you might not be very accurate with that method. You can just come to your organized notes. Now let me zoom in on this now. Let me zoom in on this shift 2. This under the say quadrant now. I'm trying to see H. Now this is the say quadrant. Now this is the first sticky note under say quadrant. I had a near-death experience. You can see I even quoted it. I had a near-death experience because I couldn't get to the hospital on time. She said that. That's under C. She also said, I had complications elsewise because of the means at which I was transported to the hospital. The interaction was effective and I prefer having a physical meeting with a doctor. That was when I asked that, do you prefer having a physical meeting with a doctor, or you would prefer or you prefer having a call, like you prefer having a doctor attend to you on call, I'm trying to paraphrase the question now. So that was what I asked her, and then she said she would prefer the interaction was effective. She was reporting a particular interaction she had with a doctor, and then she said the interaction was effective and I prefer having a physical meeting with a doctor. So you can, and when it comes to maybe grouping your sticky notes, especially when you want to put them on different quadrants, now you can pick some of the statements your participants have said that are similar and group them together. Now this particular one, I grouped 2 answers together and quoted what she said. I quoted 2 answers. Now, the first question was, the first question here is, the interaction was effective. Okay. Was the interaction effective? Yes. Now, the interaction was effective. And I prefer, the second question is, do you prefer having a physical meeting or a virtual meeting? I prefer having a physical meeting with a doctor. I don't know if you get what I'm saying now. So she gave me 2 positive responses. How was the interaction? It was effective. So, which means this person prefer having a physical interaction with a doctor. So I grouped the 2 responses together and drafted a statement from the response that she said that the interaction is effective and I prefer having a physical meeting with a doctor. Now, this is an experience. Let me try to check for that question now. Oh, let me see. Oh, I think I've disorganized the questions here. I said I want to access the Google form, and that might take time. What has been your experience? Okay, what has been your experience in the hospital? I think she was there was a particular question that prompted her to explain the whole scenario, and then she said in the form that I had an appendectomy. Sorry if I'm wrong. In 2014, and I was asked to come back 6 days after for the stitch removal. I went back, and it was a pregnant nurse that attended to me. She was extremely rude and had a bad mood, probably because of her pregnancy. She removed the stitches and I left. I'm guessing no. I experienced sharp pain at that point anytime I bent down or my stomach folds. My mom gave it a closer look and saw the end of a rope. She immediately called her friend who is a nurse. She came over to remove it. That rope was as long as my index finger. So she described her experience, and this explains why she said the doctors are rude. No, let me go back to our first response now. Thank you. No, she said something here now. Okay. Rude nurses, 0 time consciousness, 0 understanding of you understand now. So you can see that response is not coming because she's biased. She wasn't biased, but she actually had a very bad experience in the hospital, and that's why she said that. You understand? So if you should, anytime you are asking maybe a yes or no question, have you ever been to a hospital, or what do you have to say about her? Now, after you ask that question, you should try to ask a question that will prove your participants to explain why they gave that answer. Say, for instance, now, why do you like Eba? Oh no, do you like what was the experience the last time you ate Eba? Okay, it was sumptuous, it was delicious, the meal was sumptuous and all that. And okay, why do you think the meal was delicious? Maybe when I ate it, my taste buds told me that the meal was delicious. I mean, my taste buds sent some signals to my brain that this meal is actually tasting good. You know, just try to find out why they think the meal was delicious. So that's just the concept behind you asking questions. So now that's under the safe quadrants. Another thing she said is that I fall sick often because I don't have an incurable disease. I don't fall sick often, and I don't have an incurable. Okay, now these safe quadrants. Now you are not only putting one participant's sticky response here. You are checking through all your participants. You go to your organized notes and fish out all the answers that are quotable, that you can quote that this is a fact, something that, okay, now, wished I could contact a medical personnel online during any of, okay, this person said, wished I could contact a medical personnel online during any of my health emergency. I'm sure it will have helped. That was the person's response now. So you can quote them, especially, you know, all those questions where you give, I don't know if you're familiar with Google Form, you can give option, you can give short answer, you can make depending on the question you ask, you can give them an option to write a long paragraph, a short paragraph, pick multiple options or check box, you know, all those options. So especially those questions that require your participants to write their emotion, and those questions are called, I'm sure you've read, don't let me tell you the answer. So that kind of question, when you ask that kind of question, exactly, those are the type of questions the response to such questions, you bring them under the say quadrants. Now the think quadrants, let me show you the kind of responses you can put under the think quadrants. So having a physical meeting, examination, and having an online appointment with a doctor are okay. That's what she thinks. She thinks that having a physical, because these are disputable facts. to this person, she feels that having a physical examination and an online appointment is okay. And some people say, no, it's not okay. You understand? So it's still disputable. Even you as a researcher, you might not even like going to the hospital altogether. So these are things that are disputable, and you can still they are still subject to how will I put it? It's still something that can change. It's not a fact. It just depends on what the person feels per time. So later on, maybe some years after some years, she might have another experience, and then she feels that having online appointments with a doctor is not okay. It's just out of it. I would prefer physical examination. So this kind of response, you put it under think. And then another response from another participant is maybe contacting a medical personnel online during any of my health emergencies could have helped. Maybe. Do you understand now? That's still under think. An ambulance would have saved the day. That's what the person felt. Well, maybe, what if that day, if an ambulance was around, perhaps it would have even made the situation worse. You don't know. So, but the person just felt that maybe if an ambulance was there, it would have been okay. It would have saved the day. So that's what she felt. The person felt. And then maybe an ambulance would have said, hey, this another person still saying that same thing. Nurses show nonchalant attitude. That's what somebody. If I'm to ask some of us on this call, in fact, the last time I went to the hospital, the nurses are the nicest human being on earth. And personally, I may tell you that no, that's wrong. And in fact, I can even cite 10 instances that I've been with a doctor. I'm just saying. You understand? And then I can even state some facts and tell you or give you evidence to validate my point. But it does not apply to you. So that's why it's still under the think quadrant. So maybe I can pay for a subscription. She's not sure. Maybe. Just like I think I can pay for a subscription on a mobile app if the app gives me fast access to medical advice. I just think. So these are answers or responses you put under the think quadrant. Now this talks about feelings. Like this quadrant that's where you put responses that describe the emotion of your participants. So you might not get, now note something, when you are drawing your empathy map, some responses, you gather, everybody, you might not gather the kind of data I've gathered now. You might not have similar data because obviously you won't have. Ideally, we ought not to because we are different, and then the way we draft questions, the way we construct our sentences is quite different. So data are not meant to be similar. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. When it comes to creating, drafting questions, I'm sure, yes, we are human. So don't be rigid to, okay, this is how this person responded. Now let me show you something now. I fall sick often. No, I'm trying to let me look for. And if you read this epistle, you can tell that this person is bitter. That when you mention, in fact, I'm sure that if a doctor proposed to her, she first of all asks, maybe she first of all conducts some interview on that doctor. Are you a good human being? Or maybe find out from some of his patients. You understand that this person has some issue with anybody in the with white what is it called? White lab coats or whatever jacket they wear. She does not like them at all. She's now, when it comes personally, she does not like them. From this experience, you can tell that she won't, if she has an option, she will never want to go to an hospital, to the hospital again. So now, if you have to describe the emotion of these participants in one word, what will you say? I want responses, please. What will you say? Response. Now here we go again. Nobody wants to talk. So, hello. Are people still in class?
Lady had a very bad experience with her doctor. So she will not allow that kind of experience to repeat. So,
Okay, in one word, what would be your description of her emotion?
I was kind of what should I use like this? I think
Is he angry? Is she angry? Is she bitter? Is she happy? You understand what I'm saying?
I'm trying to combine the whole statements because there is an aspect that said, okay, she had a bad experience with the nurse and the person did not even perform the work well. So it's kind of probably not unprofessional doctor or nurse that she met in the hospital.
Okay. You still not describe her emotion. Now, let's so that we won't waste our time. Thank you for your response. I appreciate. Now, let's not waste our time. This is the few quadrants now. So that particular response, I described her emotion by saying angry that the nurse spoke to her rudely. You can read the anger in her text that this person is angry. She does not like doctors or nurses. She does not like them, and she's angry about that. She does not even like the space called hospital. Maybe because of the experience she had when she went there. So she is angry. I mean, maybe should I say she was angry that day, the day she was tested. So you can even feel, for you to be able to read her emotion from that test, you should know that this thing was very, very serious. Like the experience was quite serious. So I just summarized the emotion. I said, okay, angry that the nurse spoke to her rudely, and then I picked another response. I regret not. I quoted someone here. You can quote someone under the few quadrants. I regret not having a physical examination. That's an emotion, regret. So now we have two things. Now there's anger. This person is angry. This person regrets. Now this person is disappointed. She was disappointed the stitch was not properly undone. And then another one allowed a personal feelings. You understand? So now, if you are to analyze this response, you can just pick your participant's response and summarize the emotion. What do you think this person now? I had she had a surgery in 2014, and she was asked to come back 6 days after for the stitch removal. I went back and it was a pregnant nurse that attended to me. She was extremely rude. Emotion one. That's under the pink quadrant. She was extremely rude. That's what she just felt that this nurse is rude. Another person might think she's still okay now. It's not like maybe at least this person will do alone now. Because there are some people like that. That's someone else might be in her shoe and still feel that way that well, this person is old enough to be my mother, so it's fine. You understand? So she felt that the nurse was completely rude, was extremely rude rather, and had a bad mood probably because of her pregnancy. Now that's an assumption, and that's under the few. She felt that. Now let's go back to the few quadrant. She was disappointed. Okay. She felt the nurse allowed her personal feelings to interfere with her job. Can you see that this summary now, you can't find it directly. You can't find it directly on the organized notes, but it's now you're analyzing. You started the analysis already. That this emotion of my participants, she felt the nurse allowed her personal feeling to interfere with her job. And another thing is indifferent about the nurse's mood as long as he gets his treatments. That's another person. Another person felt that, okay, whether the nurse is nice or not nice, just give me the medications I need and off I go. I don't mind whether you're nice or not nice. That's another person's response. You get it? So, that's a few. And then another person said he's satisfied with the experience at the hospital. This is satisfaction. This person is indifferent. This person felt the nurse allowed a personal feeling to interfere with her job. Another person, I didn't regret not having the physical examination. And then another person said the bad job done by the nurse caused her a lot of pain. That's what she felt. She felt pain. So the theme of this statement is pain. This one is anger. This one is regret. This one is I'm not regretting at all. This person is disappointed. This person is satisfied. While this person this person is indifferent. You understand? So you need to, under the few quadrants, you need to give a theme. You need to divide all your you need to scan through your organized notes and start creating themes from the responses your participant has given. You understand now? And I've mentioned quite a number of things under these few quadrants now. Now, if I now want to brainstorm no, let me just continue. Now, under the say, okay, I've done the say quadrants. I hope I'm missing anything here. Now, I've done the think, I've done the say, okay. Now, this is the do. Now, you just need to go back to your organized notes and note the responses that you can say, okay, this is the action this person will take in this situation. Okay, maybe you ask, what will you do? Okay. Like, okay, what will you do? What will you do if you saw a car, how will I put this now? Okay, what would you do when the light goes off? Okay, I'll scream out of fear. I will try to reach for a lamp. You understand? You understand that kind of question. So now, under the do quadrants, whatever response you get from your participants, those are what you put under your do quadrants. This person said, I reach my doctor on phone, apart from physical meetings. That's what he or she does. Now, I can pay for a subscription on a mobile app if the app gives me fast access to medical advice on how to carry out first aid during health emergencies. I will still want to go to a hospital even after having online examination, like maybe remote examination from a medical examination from a doctor. You understand? So that's the response from this person, that I will still want to go to a hospital, even if a solution is provided to have access, even if an app is designed today to have access to medical advice remotely. I will still want to go to a hospital. That's someone's response. Another person said, if I had a choice, I would never want to go to a hospital again. That's what see. You can still put this particular response under the say quadrant. If I had a choice. So you can, it's possible that while you're analyzing your data, it's possible for you to have a sticky note in the say quadrant and also in the fill quadrants. I already told you how to vet them, how to analyze them, to know which box they fix in, that they should be, which quadrant they should be. You understand? So now, Let me check another response here. I only meet my doctor physically. That's what the person does. I don't miss any. I don't call doctors on phone. I meet them physically. And there has been complications because I didn't go for a physical examination, and I regret not having the physical examination. Now, this particular sticky note can also be under the thing. Under the thing quadrant, there has been complication because I didn't go for a physical examination. That's what she thought. He or she thought. She felt that assuming I went for that physical examination, maybe there wouldn't have been any complication. And I regret not having a physical examination. It can also be under few. Do you understand now? It can still be under few. It can also be under the think quadrant, and it can still be under the do, because what did the person do in that situation? The person chose to stay at home and didn't go for a physical examination. That's why it's under do now. This person, the action person took, he or she regrets taking that action. So this the participant took an action, so you can still put it under your do quadrant. Now let me move to, if you have any question, kindly tell me now, because I'm moving from this empathy map to pain points now. Any question? Okay. Now let's move to pain points. Now under pain points, you can see that there are no quadrants here. It's just I have as many sticky notes as you wish to have. So, but right there I have 9. I have 9 sticky notes. So I'll zoom in those sticky notes. Now the pain points. She had a near-death experience because she couldn't get to the hospital. Now I'm reporting. I'm not quoting anymore now. She had a near-death experience because she couldn't get to the hospital on time. That's a pain point. Something that you don't want somebody in your family to experience. You understand? Something that you can just, take for instance, now all those places that, let me show you this particular sticky note I emphasized on the other time. Okay, this person that said, let me see. I said, okay, there has been complications because I didn't go to go for a physical examination, and I regret not having a physical examination. Now, this is a pain point. This is a pain point. You understand? So those are responses you can put under pain points. Now, this person that said that I'm satisfied. I think let me look for that response. Okay, this kind of person now, I will still want to go to a hospital. There's nothing wrong in that. That's not a pain point. You understand? That's not a pain point. So you need to something that you can, let me just say problems. You know, the problem. There are some responses that you can easily point out some problems. Like, okay, if you wish this person wish it was the other way, but he or she couldn't do anything about it. It just happened. You understand? So those are things you put under pain points. Now, she thinks nurses show nonchalant attitude. Now, when you are conducting that survey, you wish she doesn't. Maybe perhaps your mom is a nurse, and you just wish that she didn't say that about a nurse. That my mom is nice to a fault. How will you say nurses are rude and they show nonchalant attitude? I'm sure you've not met my mom. That's why you assumed that's why you assume that all nurses are like that. So these are pain points. These are things that you wish you can do something about. That's if you are taking it personal. Now, those are things you put under your pain points, under the pain points group. So you now angry that the nurse spoke to her rudely. Those are things that, okay, perhaps, okay, what can I do to solve this problem? Things that the responses, you know those responses that, okay, perhaps when you start brainstorming, you can end up solving the problem. Maybe there's something you can still do to solve this problem. You understand now? So those are things you put under pain points. Now let me pick another response now. The bad job done by the nurse caused her a lot of pain. You can see that, I don't know if you are noticing the way I drafted those statements. I'm reporting, I'm not quoting anymore. I've read through my responses, now I'm quoting their response that this person wished she could contact a medical personnel during any of her health challenges. She's sure it will have helped. I'm sure you still remember this particular response. Now the real response is, let me look for it here. Okay, there has been complications because I didn't go for a physical examination and I regret not having a physical examination. But now that under pain points, wished she contacted a medical personnel during any of her health emergencies. She's sure it will have helped. Now I'm reporting. You understand? So that's how you draft your pain points. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me move to user persona. Persona now. A user persona is an imaginary character. Now I have 5 participants here. And obviously, I can't say I want to design a solution for each of them. What I need to do at this point is design a solution that will solve everyone's problem. Now, participant A has a peculiar problem. Participant B has his or her own peculiar problem. C has his or her own. D has his or her own, while E also has his or her own. Now, the essence of user persona is you now merge all those participants together. Now, there are some in this project now, I just reviewed 5 participants. So it's possible during your research. Sorry, can you mute your mic? Or do you want to ask a question, please? But it's possible during your research process, perhaps you have maybe 20 participants answering your survey questions, or you interview 30 participants, which is very possible. Depends on how enormous the project is. You understand what I'm saying? And then maybe there are 2 participants that their problems seem similar. Problems in the sense, from their response, you can deduce that, okay, this person, they feel almost the same thing, they had the same issue, they are saying the same thing. Okay, participant A said she does not like nurses, she does not like doctors, she's angry because of the experience she had. Maybe you can even have like 5 more people that have similar experiences. So, such people, you match them. You match their responses, okay. Now you can, by the time you sort your cards, these are cards now. These are cards now. Now this whole process is called affinity mapping. You understand? Affinity mapping. This is meant to be a physical exercise, but thank God for tools like FigJam that is giving us a virtual board. The traditional method is that this whole thing, this whole sections you are seeing is meant to be a whiteboard with sticky notes on them. Writing different users' response on each sticky note, then you start sorting those cards. That's affinity mapping. So now you are just clicking, you are copying one response there, you are pasting it there. That's the beauty of digitalization. So now this user persona, you now put everybody's problem, you merge it together and put it on one person. An imaginary character. Now, my imaginary character is Janet. Janet is 28 years old. How do you get the age? Well, you can check that from the response you get. Maybe you ask for your participant's age, and then you realize that the people that participate in your survey, maybe there are There are some people, their age is ranging from 20 to 40. Now the average is 30, that's the middle of the road. So you can say your user person's age is 30, and then the gender, female, that's left to you. You're just being, you're still empathizing here. So the person has a bachelor's degree in fine arts, and then the person's hometown, Nigeria, family, lives with partner. All these facts now, they are just imagined. Gender does not exist. You understand? So you can the information you write under this section now is left to you. It depends on the data you've gathered. Depends on you. So if you realize, okay, most of the now this particular survey, my screener question is, have you ever had any health child? Have you ever found yourself in any health emergency before? Yes. If yes, okay, you are qualified to take my survey. No, you are screened out. You understand? So now, which means my user persona, I'm sure that all my participants, they've had health challenge at one point or the other in their life. So I can even write here now, okay, health status, CICLA. You understand what I'm saying now? Maybe most of the people that filled my survey, they all complain that they all have, maybe most of them have sickle cell. So you can just, the majority carry the votes. You put that's what you tag you write under your user persona's bio. So now this person, most of the people that responded to my survey, they are female, and then now I just felt this BA Fine Arts. I just wrote that anyway. And then hometown, they are all Nigerians. So Nigeria, and then family, lives with partner. That's if maybe most of your participants are married or whatever. You understand? And then the mood, free spirit, can just hide under these free spirits if you don't know how to describe their mood, the temperament of your participants. So you can just write free spirit. Then occupation, designer. So now this section, I wrote a quote that describes my participants. Now, most of my participants said they can pay, I think even all. Let me check my organized notes and see what their response is on that particular question. I think they said they can all pay. Okay, yes, they all said they can pay. They can pay. All of them said they can pay. Why? Okay, no, not all. I think I can see a response saying maybe I can, but most of them said I can pay. So I vetted that and I said, okay, majority carries said I can pay on the mobile app if the app gives me fast access to medical advice on how to carry out first aid during health emergency. So I just quoted that response and pasted it here. This is a quote. That's what that's one fact about my user persona. She's ready to pay. No matter how huge the bill is, she's very ready to pay for it. So now the goal. What's the goal of this research? What's the goal? So that's what you write here. Now, under this frustration, you write out, you can just simply pick the pain points here, pick the ones that's very similar, that they are very, very, very close to what you had in mind when you started the research, your research goal. And your objective, you need to have them in mind whenever you are gathering you are analyzing your data. Now, I've shown you my pain points the other time. Now, let me go to what I wrote under frustration. Sometimes I wish nurses could be more nicer in relating with me. Now, what did I write under my pain points? Now, this person said, okay, angry that the nurse spoke to her rudely. She thinks nurses show nonchalant attitude. Those are pain points. Now, I'm now thinking for Janet here now, that Janet wishes that nurses could be more nicer in relating with her. Those are frustrations that she just, I'm sure that she must be wishing that this problem is solved, that I just wish all nurses can be nice. You understand? So, and then you can even quote, I had complications elsewise because of the means at which I was transported to the hospital. An ambulance will have saved the day. You know, I quoted some responses from the organized notes, and I also said I wish I can conduct a medical personnel. I can contact a medical personnel online during any of my health emergencies. I'm sure it will help. So this is also a response from somebody that she just wish nurses could be more nicer in relating with her. So that I told you that it was a summary of what that person said. The first participant said that you can deduce from her response that she has issues with medical personnel. So she just wish they can be much more nicer. You understand? So what's the goal? What's the goal of this research? Our goal is that we want to create a solution. We want to design a solution to solve this problem. So now this is what you now start. Under this your goal, under this goal session, you write out things you can do to take this frustration away. You understand? So it's not like maybe you are fabricating some results now. It's still from the responses your participants has given. Things you still draft your goals from the responses the participants has given, because now to have an app that gives me fast access to medical advice or personnel on how to carry out first aid. Now you can, I'm sure if you've been following what I've been saying, if you've been listening to what I've been saying from the start of the class, I'm sure you remember that somebody actually said something like this, that they don't mind. Okay, let me still go back to that response. Don't let me assume everybody is following me right now. Let me go back to that response. I said, okay. I said, on this particular question, almost all my users said they don't mind paying for a subscription on a mobile app. So now back to our user personnel. They don't mind. You can just write the things they have in common, like something that they all agree on. They don't mind having to pay for a subscription. So now they don't mind having an app that gives them fast access to medical advice or personnel. You understand? And then another point here is I have to have access to an ambulance so that I won't have more complications during health emergency. I'm sure you remember that response too. When that person said, I'm sure an ambulance will have saved the day. So this person would like to have an access to an ambulance so that she won't have more complications during health emergency. And then they all don't mind having an online session, except one person that said he or she would still prefer going to the doctor. You understand? So to have sessions with professional and caring doctors when the need arises, whether online or remotely, they all share that in common. From all the responses, all these three goals, they all share. Everybody agrees to all these from the response. You understand? So you are not just drafting, you're not just writing something from your head. It's what your it's what your participants have said. That's what you use to draft your goal. And then now, this is the bio of Janet. Janet is a designer who lives in Nigeria and mostly works on let me zoom in so that I can read very well. He's a designer who lives in Nigeria and mostly works on her system both day and night. She's pregnant. I'm wondering what I wrote. She's pregnant but still working, having to sit all day at the hospital waiting to have an appointment with a doctor. Worries because she knows the day she is to have a physical appointment with the doctor, but sometimes she just needs a medical advice. She feels that there is no point wasting time to queue to see a rude doctor for a chat. Now, look at the summary I gave here now about Janet. I combined all the character traits of my participants. I'm now painting a scenario. Okay, let me assume Janet. Why would Janet want to go to the hospital in the first place? I don't know. I didn't probe into the personal life of my participants to know, except one person that was gracious enough to tell me that she had a surgery. So every other person just said they've been to the hospital, they didn't tell me, they didn't give details about what happened, you understand? So now this person, I just felt, okay, this person is pregnant. Let me just assume that there's something, whether you like it or not, as a woman, even if you've never visited a hospital before, you definitely go when you're pregnant. You understand? So that's why I said Janet is pregnant. You understand? And she's still working. And then so, as a pregnant woman, how do they feel? They sit all day, yes, and then they'll sit all day at the hospital. They don't like, most pregnant women, even from my own observation, they don't like, sitting all day waiting for an appointment with a doctor. And even that fact is, you can validate that fact from the response of your participant, from the response your participants gave. They don't like the fact that doctors are rude. One of them said that. So now, the character trait of the first participant is what I wrote here now. Having to sit all day for the hospital waiting to have an appointment with a doctor, worries because she knows the day she's to have a physical appointment with the doctor. But sometimes she just needs a medical advice. Now, some people, they know that it's not like they are really sick. They know what is wrong with them. They know what is wrong with them. Maybe they just need someone to ask some advice, maybe on phone, but they don't prefer going to the hospital at that point because they know that there's no point going to the hospital when you already know what is wrong with you. Perhaps maybe it has been the sickness comes at some time of the year, so you already know what is wrong already. But you just want to call your doctor to know, okay, doctor, this is happening again. What can I do? Do I need to, okay, maybe the doctor just needs to tell you, do this, do that, you understand? So that's what they feel. And so on and so forth. So she feels that there is no point wasting time to queue to see a doctor and all that. So you can see that I didn't just draft this bio. I didn't just draft this bio from my head. I had to analyze the response from all my participants and then before drafting the bio. And you can see that this bio reflects the background or the character traits of all my participants. You understand now? So that's the user persona section. Now this is brainstorming. Do you have a question? Does anybody have a question? Does anybody have a question? Okay. All right, so that means we all understand what user persona is. So now let me move to brainstorming. Now under brainstorming, you pick your pain points one after the other. Let me see the one on the first. Let me see the one I first picked now. Okay, wish she had a contact with a medical personnel. Alright, that's under my pain points. That same thing I noted under my pain points. What is it called now? Under my pain points section, I now brought it. I created a space for it, and then I started suggesting solutions. That is what brainstorming is all about. Feasible solutions that you can You can design, or maybe things you feel you can do to solve the problem as a designer. Now it can be as a team. It's not necessary you can be the only one doing this, and it's possible you work with a team. You understand? Now in this case, now I'm the only one doing it. So I sat down, I said, okay, what if assuming I was the one in this situation, what would I have done? What will I do to solve this problem? Now, wish she could contact a medical personnel during any of her health emergencies. She's sure it will have helped. Now, let me assume that this thing happened to someone very, very, very close to me. What would I have done? Perhaps I will hire a private doctor. Okay, maybe I will build up an application so that she can have a live session with a doctor during health emergency. Now that's design. Perhaps I can even connect her to platforms where she can have access to hospital address. That's online address book. And another way I can solve this problem is I can have someone stay with her always. I can also give her a doctor's contact, someone that will be ready to come to her house anytime she has health issues. I can even tell her neighbors to check on her always. I can pay for a subscription on a mobile app. Okay, now this what somebody suggested. That's what most of them said, that they can pay for a subscription on a mobile app if the app gives fast access to. So now I still included this under the solution, and I said ensure that she order for medications online. So that means I'll look for a platform for her where she can, or design a platform for her where she can order for medications online. That is telemedicine. And that's one of the solutions I said I was going to provide. So now I'm suggesting that, okay, maybe if I'm sure in this situation that if she could get access to a platform where she can order for medications online, perhaps she wouldn't be wishing that she didn't. Let me read this thing again. Sorry, wish she could contact a medical personnel during any of her. She won't be wishing that maybe assuming I've seen a doctor, maybe this wouldn't, the situation wouldn't have been so complicated. You understand? Assuming she could get medication online. So that's that. And then another pain point, she had a near-death experience because she couldn't get to the hospital on time. So now I said ensure she does not stay alone. Have a call an ambulance feature on the app. Now I'm thinking of designing a solution and also a normal day solution. So you are not restricted to designing a product. Now when you are brainstorming, you have to be free. Don't be restricted. Don't say these things. No idea is stupid. Just write whatever comes to your mind. But for you to be able to, one thing, you can't be a good UI/UX designer if you can't empathize, you can't put yourself in people's shoes. Because how will you provide all these solutions if you don't put yourself in their shoes? You understand what I'm saying now? Because the easiest way to brainstorm is just imagine yourself in that situation. God forbid this won't happen to you, but just, you understand what I'm saying? Put yourself in their shoes and think of what you could have done to solve the problem. Now, assuming you have someone now close to you that had a near-death experience because she couldn't get to the hospital on time, what would you have done? You ensure that once that person gets back from the hospital, you ensure that that person does not stay alone at home. And as a designer, okay, because I so love my sister, I will make sure that I design an app that will have a feature called an ambulance feature. You understand? That's that. And then have a car ready in case of emergency. Maybe Uber or whatever, boat ride, all those rides. And then, get the contact of the nearest hospital ambulance. Relocate her to where there is less traffic so that she can get to the hospital on time in case of emergency. This applies to people that stay in Lagos. And then buy her a car and hire a driver. That's another way you can solve that problem. you are still brainstorming. No idea is foolish. Now, another pain point is there was complications because she didn't go for a physical examination, and she regret not having a physical examination after putting a call to a doctor. Now, upload her physical examination date on her calendar. Take her to the hospital even after getting medical advice online because she regrets not having a live session. You understand? So you see that even after she gets that thing done online, after she gets that medical advice online, I'll still take her to the hospital. Ask her husband to take her to the hospital. Pay a fee to taxi driver to take her to the hospital, or move her to a mission house. I can also ensure that she can schedule a physical appointment with a doctor on the app. Now, that's your designer mind thinking now. You understand? So now, after that, you come to your idea prioritization matrix. Now that you've created your solution, you can see the process now. See where we started from. We started from organizing our data, and then we grouped them under we sorted them into different quadrants, into 4 quadrants. Then we identified their pain points. You understand? Then from there, you created a scapegoat. Sorry, that's just a joke anyway. You created a user persona that is more like someone that possesses all the traits of your participant. Now that's our genius there, and then you come to brainstorming, providing feasible solutions to the problem, and then after that, you now come to your prioritization matrix. So now your prioritization matrix, 4 quadrants. It has 2 sections and 4 quadrants. Now, the first section is the low effort solutions that you don't need much effort to carry them out. Why to implement them rather? Why the other quadrant is for high effort? Since that even if you know that when you are making that promise that I will call our husband, you know that our husband is wicked. You can't afford to go and meet that man and tell that man to please take his wife to the hospital. You know that they are not friends. So perhaps the man does not even like his wife. You understand? You know that you just said it because of the situation that was on ground. So that's why you promised that. So now you now start grouping all those solutions that give her a doctor's contact. Hey, now let me tell you about the 4 quadrants now. We have the do later, we have the do now, we have the don't do, and do next. Now, if you know that the woman's husband is wicked, then you shouldn't even think of calling her husband to take her to the hospital. Those are solutions you put under don't do. You understand? So after you've poured out all the solutions you have in mind, you now have to sort those solutions and start asking yourself, if I do this now, I hope it won't take me to prison. Say for instance, now if someone is pregnant and you are saying that you want to move her to the mission house, are you her husband? No, that kind of, if someone suggests that on the team, you put it under don't do. You understand? Don't even think about it. So you group it under don't do. And then another thing is relocate. Are you ready to finance that? To finance our house rent? Still under don't do. Buy her a car and hire a driver. Are you ready to bankroll that? Put it under don't do. You know, it's not necessary that it's obvious like this. There might be some solution that you know that it's not. I can't do it. Considering my financial status, or you understand, I just thought of it that it's possible, but I can't do it. And so you don't discard those data. You keep them for future purpose, because you might not be able to do it now, but later on you can pick up those ideas and implement them. So, but for these projects, we are not doing it. So you put them under the don't do quadrant because it requires high efforts. That's why you can't do it. Now the do next. Let me go to the do later. This one, you are not doing it, but maybe later, maybe I can do it too. This, what this do later quadrant is for. Now, give her a doctor's contact. Okay, you can do that later, maybe later. I don't think I have a doctor's contact presently. Connect her to platforms where she can have access to hospital address. I don't have any platform in mind presently. So let me just, I'll do that later. Have a car ready in case of emergency. I can still do it, so, but not now. Put it under do later. And then now the do now, okay, something you can do now, like it's in line with your research goal and your objective. The thing, you know, what was our mission? What was our goal when we started this research? Our goal is to find out if Nigerians will embrace digitalization despite all the factors that we inhibit. Is like maybe no electricity, bad network, and the likes. We didn't embrace it, and we found out that some people are ready. Our participants are ready to pay for a subscription on mobile app if we give them access to medical. That if the platform will give them access to medical advice on how to carry out first aid during health emergencies, they are ready to pay. You understand? So that's and from while empathizing with my participants, I realized that I think these are the things I feel this mobile app should have. Apart from this mobile app giving everybody the access to medical advice, they should be able to call an ambulance. You understand? How was I able to think of that solution? It was when one of my participants complained that, assuming she was able to get to the hospital on time, there wouldn't have been complication. So she felt that, which means if that platform has the call an ambulance feature, then it will fast track the whole process. You understand what I'm saying now? It will be a plus. And I don't think you check out your competitors. Do they have that feature? No, that is a plus. That makes your application unique. So that's under the do now. Take her to the hospital even after getting medical advice online. You can do it. Because if she does not, she regrets not going to the hospital, so it will be bad, or it will be inhuman of you if you know that your sister had complications because she didn't go to the hospital and you are not doing anything about it. So you definitely, next time that thing happens, you want to take her to the hospital even after she gets medical advice online. You understand? So those are the things you put under your do now, and maybe upload physical examination dates on a calendar. You can still do that. That's quite simple. Ensure that, so you can see that this do now is under low effort. Something you can do it now. It's not going to take anything. It won't make you sweat. Something you can, as a designer, these are things you can do. You can refine those ideas and incorporate it into the feasible solution you stated before. You understand? So that is what you have under your do now. And you should, I don't know if you notice something, that I make sure that the colors of my cards, they are similar. So it's just for, how will I put it now, when it comes to, when you are designing your, how will I put it now, when you are working on so many cards, colors matter. It's very, very important. You can imagine if you have orange, blue, so many things will be calling your attention. But now look at the colors now, they are similar. So you can easily know that, okay, this particular response is for this. It's for this particular pain points. So you are not looking for card A amidst card B, the category B. You are not looking for category A card in category B card, because the color codes are different. So now this quadrant too, so that you won't start mixing up your, maybe you mistakenly shook your mouse and then the card just went up there and then you didn't know. So that's why you should take note of your color codes. So now, after I've picked all my do now, that's what I have under my feature list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, out of these 6 do now, I checked it again. And let's check it again. I checked them again, and I just felt like there are still some things that I won't be able to digitalize it, even if I want to render such a, but it can't be remote. Now, have a call and ambulance. This can still be on the they can still be a part of my mobile application feature. Okay, build her an application so that she can still part of my goal. She can pay for it, it's still part of my goal. Ensure that she can order for medication, it's still part of it. Upload that, this is still part of it. While this, ensure that she can schedule a physical, is still part of it. But now take her to the hospital even after, that is personal. You understand? You can, I don't know who can build an application that can take people to the, say, okay, now we have cars that do not that you don't need the driver, to drive the car. They are automated cars, so that except maybe that's another solution entirely. But for a mobile product, definitely this can work. So you take, now go back to you come to your feature list and bring out of your June now and pick the solutions that you can incorporate into your stated feasible solution when you started the research. Now, build an application so that she can have a live session with a doctor during health emergency. So that means your mobile application will have a core feature. So there will be a list of, there will be a group of doctors on that application that will have created profile on your application that people across Nigeria can call during health emergency. And then ensure that she can order for medications online. So which means that application will also you'll also affiliate with a medical store that will be displaying their products on that application, so people can order online. And then you ensure that the mobile store is ready to do doorstep delivery. You understand what I'm saying? That's that. Now ensure that she can schedule a physical meeting with a doctor on the app. So that means that she can on the mobile app, she can schedule a meeting. Since she can call a doctor, then the doctors too, they will be ready to, they must be aware that they are not only attending to patients on ground, they also have patients online. So when your remote patients schedules a meeting for 4 o'clock, then you have to be ready to attend to him or her by 4 o'clock. So she can do that on the mobile app. And then have a call and ambulance feature. Then that means you'll have to go to the state government and collect all the numbers of ambulances in the states or in the country, upload it on the app so that people from different locations can call. That's the call and ambulance feature. And then upload a physical examination date on a calendar, which means you are going to integrate a calendar on the mobile app so that she can upload the symptoms she's feeling, upload things. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just the feature list. So you are going to, I think, we are done on the analysis now. Let me see if I still have let me show you the app prototype now. Let me show you how so let's see if the application has let's see if the application, now I've designed a solution. So let's see if okay. So let me skip to sign up. Okay, now this is the first stage picture. Now this is the ambulance, call an ambulance. This is the mood diary. So anytime she feels feverish, she will put it in a case file. This is the case file. So anytime she wants to meet a doctor online, she can easily click on this button and then upload her feelings, or that's what I'm saying, how she's feeling and all that, because before the doctor meets with her online, she will have sent her case file ahead so that the doctor can check and assess her, and then if it's something that requires her coming for a physical examination, the doctor will tell her during the scheduled time, come for physical examination, while he also provides medical advice for her, medical advice to about the situation that is on ground, about how she's feeling presently. Maybe you need to take PCM all the time you come to the hospital, or you need to take ORS water, you understand? So that's what this is. This picture is for. And then this is the calendar. So call Dr. Martins, visits to Dr. Martins. Janet has already scheduled a visit to Dr. Martins on 9th of June. 3 to 5 p.m. So she's going to visit Dr. Martins on ground. She's going to call Dr. Martins on the 6th of June between 3 to 7 p.m. 3 to 5 p.m. rather. And then this is the need help app feature rather. So if maybe she wants to have a live chat. Now she can chat with the platform, and then that's that. And then this is her profile. She will have added all her details, her email, agenda, her date of birth, so that the doctor won't have to be asking that. Those are things she can post. She can upload the medicine store, so she can get to order. Then this button takes you to the list of doctors available at a particular time so that you can schedule. And then this is the wallet in case she orders for a medication online. So she can top up her wallet and order for medications. She can make payments, So that's just what UIUX is all about. This is the design stage now. So just you get to learn how to do that if you register for our training. So I think I'm done. Now the only thing that's left for me to show you now is how to create your research reports. Now I'll add these documents to the resources so that you can access it, and I believe it's self-explanatory, but let me just explain it again. It's a template on Google Docs rather. So you write your research finding summary. Now everything you found out, just summarize you start from the brainstorming, the things you feel, your research findings, things you found out that okay, your participants were hungry, they don't like, they have issues, nurses need to, maybe you found out that nurses need to improve on their on their professional, how like this is now, sorry, let me regroup. Nurses need to improve on how they attend to patients. They shouldn't allow their personal feelings to interfere with their work. The way they interact with patients and all that. So those are research findings. Those are things you note under this research findings summary. That people will be glad if there's a platform that can give them medical advice without having to go to the hospital physically. You understand? So things you found, and I told you under the knowledge. Now let me go back to this place now. Okay. Remember our knowledge board. You found that there are these are the assumptions that I said you need your research. You need to research before you can find answers to them. Now you still put it under your research finding. Okay, we found answers to, this is what we found out from our research concerning what you stated there that you need to find out. You understand? So your goal, your discovery goals. Now, your discovery goals, you state it. What key decisions do you have to make? What research questions did you want answered to help inform your decision. Now, your discovery goal is your research goal. That's what you write here. Now, related, what company or products, okay, PRs or outcomes are related to this work. Now, maybe your company, now take for instance, now, you are working with alerts in this situation, and that's why you are researching. That's why you are trying to find out, so you find solutions to this particular problem. So now, which of our goals is similar? I mean, how like it's now, what company or outcome is related to this work? So which of alert goals is in line with this research goal? Now, as a UIUX designer, now you are expected to put yourself in people's shoes to empathize. So now our goal is to design solutions to problems, and noting a problem in people's in our environment, and then we ensure that we design a solution using digital means, and then we ensure that oh my God, please excuse me, let me regroup myself. Now, Alert Academy, we are teaching you how to design, how to research, to conduct UIUX research. Now, and why are you conducting the research? You are conducting research so that you can know what your users want. You are trying to empathize with them. Now, so our company goal, how does it relate to the company goal? We are designing digital products to solve problems. So that is how this relates. The goal of this research is to see if people will embrace digitalization, digitalization. And now, since they're embracing this, and the goal of our company is to ensure that we provide solutions to problems using digital means. You understand? You can see how it goes intertwined now. That's in this case now, because that's Alert Academy. But you might find yourself working with Close Up tomorrow, or working with Apple, Microsoft. So you have to you have to unpick how your research goals relate with your company goals. You understand now? So the key learning, what did you find out? What key theme or insight did you learn as a result of this work? That's what you write there. And then the next step, maybe, now, it's an individual working on this thing, so you just put your name, assuming it's a team, maybe team A, team B, recommendation, and then next step. Now, recommendation, these are the suggested solutions you suggested here. The solutions you suggested here. Now, these are solutions. Brainstorming, you have some here, do now, and then the feature list. So you can just bring those solutions, put them under your recommendation. You recommend, because you are not imposing on them. This time around, you're a researcher, you are just researching, you've conducted your research, now you want to hand over to the design team. You understand? Now you want to hand over to the design team. So you are just recommending that the design team should create an application. So the design team can still decide, I think a web application will be okay. You understand what I'm saying now? So you are not to impose on the company. You are just to recommend that from your research, these are my recommendations. So you recommend to them the feasible solutions to the problem and the next steps. So that's what this, and then this appendix, relevant sources. So provide links to relevant sources here, like example, your research plan, so you provide the link to your research plan here under your appendix, your research plan documentation, you put it there, your research analysis link, you put it there, and make sure you label your links. So that's what this template is for. It's your research finding summary template. So it's more like your UIUX research report templates. So I think we are done for tonight. So do you have any questions?